and a monster home run hit to a place that
It was popping.
Who would have thought hip-hop would have made it this far?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Rob Duran Podcast, baseball edition, because the World Series starts on Friday, and we are recording on Wednesday, October 22nd. Fellas, I needed y'all here for this one. It's the World Series. Tell me how y'all doing, though.
I'm doing well, bro. I'm doing well. You know, last time we spoke, I think the Yankees were still alive and kicking, but we're living in very different times right now. But we'll touch base on that soon. How you doing, Hasio?
I'm good, I'm chilling. Sad, but, not the World Series I wanted to see, but, it is what it is at this point. I'm excited to be here with you guys. It's been a while. I haven't been in one of these calls in a minute, so I'm ready to talk sports.
Yeah, man.
I guess speaking of the Yankees, we should probably start there to kind of just get them out the way, because I'm sick of them. I'm not even going to lie. I'm frustrated with them. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm all of the above with them, but they're gone. They lose in the ALDS to the Toronto Blue Jays. They got manhandled. Simply put, the Blue Jays outplayed them completely on every aspect of the game. What are you guys' thoughts, man? What's up with the Yankees? What's the outlook moving forward? What do we do with this team?
Well, first, let me touch base on the series because, I just want to say goodbye to that first. But it's like you said, Roberto, like they literally got outplayed in all facets of the game. And the one thing that we felt confident about going into this series, I think we all agreed, even though we're all Yankee fans, that, we have the pitching advantage at least. We thought we had a pitching advantage. Obviously, we did respect the Toronto lineup. They have a hell of a lineup, but we also felt like our lineup could compete with their lineup. And the bats didn't show up. Our pitching was lackluster. And I mean, one guy that did show up was Aaron Judge. That's for sure. But the rest of the team was pretty inconsistent all around. I mean, and I was really disappointed in the Yankees' performance. But as far as the outlook going forward, I mean, I think you mentioned this in your daughter's party that the Yankees, this current Yankees team is built like to play 162 games and it's not built to win games in the playoffs. So that's something they really have to focus on for next season.
And it's kind of hard to, there's not one single person to really blame, maybe besides Aaron Boone and the GM for the team that they put together. I feel like at this point, we got to just break that whole team up. Like, why would you keep Volpe, right? He was like 0 and 11 or something crazy. Like, he was useless. His bat was useless. Like, why don't we switch it up, put somebody else in? Like, just do something. And this is like, we're just watching us, like, self-implode because we don't want to change things up because we have confidence in our players, like, in such a critical time of the season. And it was just disappointing to watch them lose the way they did at home. At home at that, man. It was just so bad.
Yeah, and my
mhm.
bad. Go ahead. No, go
No,
ahead.
go.
No, I think the frustrating part too is Aaron Judge had a coming out party. My man finally had the postseason we've been waiting for since, he got into the league basically, and the Yankees went on this run with this window of opportunity having him on the roster, hitting over 400, hitting clutch hits. Towards the end, finally putting some slug in that bat, which is what I was calling for. Like I was happy he was getting his hits, but I needed to see some power out of that man. Dude was hitting monster home runs off a pitch that nobody can hit except for him. I don't know if you guys saw that 3-run shot he hit off the foul pole. It was like a cutter or a sinker, like something inside in on his hands at 100 miles an hour, and brother just pulled it and yanked it hit the foul pole. Something only he can do. I'm convinced only he can do. Maybe the only other person that I could picture doing that is Vlad Sr., who could hit any ball. Other than that, no other hitter can do what Aaron Judge did on that pitch. So I think that's the frustrating part. And just seeing the way they collapsed. The pitching wasn't there. The bullpen wasn't there. The bats weren't there, like Cesar said. Like, it was absolutely nothing. To Hasiel's point, Volpe is getting off-season surgery on his shoulder, which obviously hindered his play. Not to give him any excuses, because in years past, he still hasn't performed to the level that we've expected him to perform. But it was obvious the dude just wasn't himself. And you have a guy in Caballeros on the bench who, he's not a superstar, but damn, give yourself a chance, especially in a short series against a team that doesn't strike out, Toronto, all they do is put the ball in play. They have great contact, great balance, great power, great base running. Like, these dudes just do everything right. And kudos to them, because I said at the beginning of the playoffs, I don't consider them a playoff team. Damn, I was wrong.
OD wrong. OD.
They are the absolute opposite of that. They are the epitome of what a playoff team should be, which is a team, again, that has power, contact, can put the ball in play, doesn't strike out. My only question mark with them, and I continue into the World Series, is the pitching. I don't trust Toronto's bullpen at all. And their pitching staff is shaky past like their number 2 starter. But we'll get into all that in a little bit. But the Yankees themselves, man, I don't think people understand how much I suffer with this team, bro. Like,
Sleepless nights.
yo,
Evening's gone.
yo sufro con este equipo, bro. I don't think people get that. And it frustrates me when they lose in the fashion that they do because I cannot defend them. Like, yo, you blew the World Series and then you go into the next playoffs and it's coño. Man, it's just frustrating, bro.
I mean, they beat the Red Sox, which was great.
And that was their World Series. That's the problem, though.
Yeah.
Because you go into the next series against a team that has dominated you the entire season. And what frustrates me more is when I hear press conferences and I hear Aaron Boone saying, man, well, maybe we should have taken a couple more games during the season seriously and we would have won. No, duh, Aaron Boone.
I think I want that whole team like ripped apart, to be honest. For the GM, the coach, everybody. Just
You know what's,
Judge and just
you know what it is though, bro? I'm not mad at the roster. I think the roster was okay. And I think he did well adding at the deadline. Considering like what happened in the offseason, I think the pieces were right. But again, like they're built for 162. And it's the Yankees' organizational philosophy is let's get through the regular season because we're going to make the playoffs anyway. We got 3 wild card shots plus a division. So it's 4 chances to make the playoffs. We're definitely one of the top 4 teams in the AL. So we're going to make it. And then when we get there, we'll flip a coin. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we tried our best. At least we sold some chicken buckets in the playoffs and tickets and all this other stuff. So we made our revenue. That's the problem with the Yankees' philosophy now. It's not even that the roster construction sucks. It's just their philosophy is let's just get to the playoffs and hope for the best. They don't have that dog in them to say, yo, let's kill these dudes for 162. And when we get to the playoffs, continue that dominance.
To me, few players showed that heart and effort that series.
Like, to me, Aaron Judge played with a chip on his shoulder. And he does not have to because he is the best player in baseball on the offensive side of the ball. The best player in baseball. So he doesn't have it. But he came into the season. He was like, all right, Soto wants to bounce. People want to doubt us right now. Let me go hit 330 with 50-plus home runs and show people what's up in the playoffs. And he did his thing. He did everything people say he couldn't do. Big G came back. He was out for most of the season. Came back, and my man could have put up a 50 home run season if he played the whole year, you know? But it's like, again, you get into the playoffs, every bat goes quiet except for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, and going back to like looking at the Blue Jays team, I feel like that team, their roster is built to beat a team like the Yankees.
Yes.
Because they do all the small things. They try to get on base one way or another. They try to advance their runners. They play small ball. And then they let their big hitters like Vladdy get them home when they need to. So now he's at bat with 2 people on, 3 people on. It's because they all have they're all playing as a collective unit. By all means, the next base. We're gonna get to the next base. We're gonna get to the next base. We're gonna play that tight defense, even though they did make a lot of errors in this, in this series, but they still kind of cleaned up enough to overwhelm the Yankees. And that lineup, man, the Yankee pitching had no answer for them.
Yo, Ernie Clement, a guy that no one's ever heard of. Ernie Clement. He got released by Oakland. Not even Oakland. They're called the Athletics now because they're not even in Oakland anymore. But he got released by them. Blue Jays pick him up, and the dude killed the Yankees. I felt like he was 4 for 4 in every game that series.
I have a question. Who's the pitcher that had that crazy game with like 10 strikeouts, no walks? Was it in this series or against Boston?
For the Yankees?
Yeah.
Schlittler. It was against the Red Sox.
It was against
Okay.
so advanced against the Red Sox.
Yeah. So I was gonna give him a shout out for that Red Sox series, but I was disappointed when he came out to pitch for the Yankees in Toronto.
He didn't
He
do
didn't do
bad.
that bad.
Yeah, he didn't
Yeah,
do
but
bad.
we still lost the game.
Well, I mean,
It's
he
not his
can't-
fault, but yeah. The Yankees just like just fell apart, man. It was just depressing. I'm sorry.
Nah, yeah, no, it's frustrating, man. It is, and this is the second straight year the Yankees get beat by a style of play, which is the small ball, cleaning up, and also like this overwhelming lineup that just they have one mentality alone, just advance the run.
I feel bad for Aaron Judge, because he did his thing, and like this also like reminded me of like the difference that Juan Soto would have made if he would have stayed with us. Like it felt like we really needed a player like him in this series, and it made me realize like damn, if we would have had Juan Soto this series, maybe we would have actually like beaten them. But it just goes to show like the difference of losing one player like that can take you from going to the World Series to not making the World Series. And yeah, shout out to the Blue Jays though. They did their thing.
They did. So enough about the damn Yankees. We'll talk about them in a couple
Never
weeks
again.
when the off season begins. Even though, yo soy masoquita, bro. Because I'm telling you guys, I'm never going to watch baseball again after the World Series. I'm never going to watch Yankees games. I'm going to be the first one looking for tickets. I'm going to be the first one telling ya, yo, let's go to a game this year, like an idiot. Okay, yo soy masoquita. That's what I am with the Yankees. They could smack me around, make me sad, kill me, and I'm going to show up again. We're going to be here recording at the start of next season, and I'm going to be here with my Yankee hat, my Yankee hoodie, telling you how they're going to make the World Series. But we'll get there when we...
Do you think sorry, before we jump off, do you think Garrett Cole would have made a difference? I completely
Absolutely.
forgot he didn't
Of course.
Garrett Cole is an
It's-
absolute ace.
It's Garrett
And-
motherfucking Cole.
Yeah, and he showed it last year, even though they didn't win his games in the World Series. Besides that error-filled Game 5, he
Yeah.
pitched phenomenal throughout the
So I take
entire
it back.
play.
Garrett Cole and Juan Soto, those two players, not having them made a tremendous.
Yeah, I think
Huge drop
not
off.
having Cole was a big thing because you kind of take the pressure off Fried and Rodon. They shift down to 2 and 3 as opposed to being 1 and 2. So I think that makes a difference. I think Cole would have played a stopper in that Blue Jay series.
100%. And it would have been Fried, Cole, and Schlittler. I think that would
Yeah.
probably been the third pitcher. So I wrote down relieving in case of elimination or something. But
Maybe next year.
whatever. Enough about the what ifs or whatever.
Yes.
yeah.
Onward
What's
we
really
go.
happening.
To the World Series we go. Toronto, Dodgers. I don't think anyone expected Toronto to be there, or very few people. But on the other side, the Dodgers, I think we kind of all knew it was going to happen. Just for clarification purposes, the League Championship Series, I had Mariners versus Phillies going to the World Series. I know I didn't get a chance to kind of say that and record it and all that stuff. Ultimately, obviously, the Phillies lost to the Dodgers. Dodgers ended up beating Milwaukee in the NLCS. Beating Milwaukee is not even the right word. They just completely decimated Milwaukee.
What them niggas?
Like, they just off the face of the planet, bro. Like, no mercy. But that was my World Series pick. I don't know what you guys' World Series picks were to go into it. Mine was always Mariners, Phillies. But the Dodgers are there, obviously. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I had the Mariners and the Dodgers. I just felt, again, with the whole pitching narrative with the Blue Jays, I always lean towards the other team. Like, because Seattle had a great lineup. I feel like they had a great lineup themselves, and they matched good with the Blue Jays. But shout out to Toronto, man. They just made timely hits, and they rode the wave that they got from the last series against the Yankees, and they kind of just showed that it wasn't a fluke.
That was a
got
pretty
there.
series too.
Yeah. 7-game series. But and shout out to Milwaukee too. You know, they had a great season. They had the best
They
record
did.
in the NL. Everybody was writing them off, and kind of proved everyone that wrote them off right in this last series. But I mean, come on. It's the Dodgers, though. This team is. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about the Dodgers differently after this series. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee will have a chip on their shoulder next season and try to beat the Dodgers next year. I
I'm
would
gonna
hope.
I'm gonna give you a hot take right now. I don't see Milwaukee winning the division next year. A lot depends on what the Cubs end up doing, and Milwaukee may do it because this is what they do every freaking year. They go and everyone doubts them. They make the playoffs and then they get spanked around. It's similar to Cleveland, same thing. But I don't know. I think Milwaukee's going to sell some pieces in the offseason. So I expect them to be very active. So, but we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. So my thoughts on this series, I feel like it's gonna be competitive. I feel, especially the first few games. But are we
Who's
doing
home?
predictions right away, or you want to just do a little breakdown? Because breakdown wise, I just feel like the Dodgers they lead in every category. In this
Dodgers might sweep.
pretty much. The only thing that can save Toronto is the momentum that they have. They are riding a great momentum, and if their hitting stays hot, with hitting you could win any game. Really. You're in the game no matter what. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's
my
like,
little preview.
yeah, I got the Dodgers winning.
He going straight to the predictions.
I want the Blue Jays to win for Vladdy, and just to like shit on the Dodgers little dynasty run that they're about to go on. Especially since the Yankees lost. But I'm just thinking logically, the pitchers that the Dodgers have are just gonna probably shut down Toronto's offense.
Bro, that first.
Bro,
Dude.
the NLCS, they gave up, their starting pitchers gave up 2 runs. They struck out 35 hitters. One guy
Nigga.
pitched a complete game. One guy threw 8 innings. Shohei, 6 innings, 10 strikeouts. Like, do I expect that same type of result in the World Series? Probably not, because Toronto, again, they don't strike out like that. But would it surprise me if we see something similar? Absolutely not.
Roberto, can you please do me a favor and just name the pitchers of the Dodgers? Please, just name them.
Otani, obviously. Yamamoto, Glasnow, Blake Snell. If you want to throw in Kershaw, you can throw in Kershaw, even though he's just
Kershaw's
there to.
still there?
He's there to collect a trophy at this point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You got 4 dudes who could be number ones. Like,
yeah.
do I need to go through their lineup too? Mookie Betts, bro. People forget that Mookie Betts is on that team, and he's a former MVP.
Yeah, he had a good season.
Like, nobody pays attention to the fact that Mookie Betts is a right fielder who's killing it at shortstop all season. That's crazy to me.
Man, if they sweep this series, we're gonna have a conversation about this team.
And I just want to say, like, I'll give, the Blue Jays and the Brewers are very similar, except that the Blue Jays have more power in their lineup. So, the Dodgers already know the formula, essentially, of how to go after this, because they also face the Phillies, who have a lot of freaking pop in their lineup. So you're basically combining the Phillies and Milwaukee into one team, and you have the Blue Jays right now. And the Dodgers handled both of these teams with ease.
Now, one thing the Blue Jays do have is Vladdy Jr.
He's an X factor. The dude is hitting over 400, 6 home runs, I think, this postseason. Clutch hit after clutch hit.
What if they just walk him though, or pitch around him?
But they have that not striking out mentality. So putting the ball in play is gonna force the Dodgers to play a little bit of defense, which they got that too. But it's just I think the only shot the Blue Jays have is if they continue to stay hot. And they gotta play small ball with this team.
Yeah.
Keep a low scoring maybe too.
Because you're going against some juggernauts there.
I disagree, Alcel. They gotta go high score. They gotta go the way the Blue Jays played the Yankees game 1 and 2, smacking 11 runs, 10 runs. That's what they gotta. They gotta outslug the crap out of the Dodgers.
They gotta make these pitchers pitch a lot of pitches.
I don't see them doing it.
Long
because
at bat.
The Dodgers.
He's had 35 strikeouts in the last series. 2 runs.
Bro, is that
now,
the Dodgers bullpen is not that good. Same thing with the Blue Jays, but I don't trust any of their bullpens. Yeah. The moment you get into the bullpen, that team is probably going to win the game. So the Blue Jays have to jump on these starters.
I trust the Blue Jays bullpen more.
I do. I agree.
Okay.
So if there is an edge for Blue Jays, it's the bullpen battle. But it's very tight. Very, very tight. But from what I've seen in the playoffs, I can't even see that, man. I don't know, man. Blue Jays.
So prediction-wise, I'm going to go Dodgers in 5.
That sounds about right. Out of respect, I'm going to give Toronto 1 as well. I like it. Maybe 2, actually. Maybe they pull an Indiana from not this year, the past year.
But I'll tell you what, I don't know who's pitching game 1. I don't know if they've released that yet. But What I will tell you, I feel like the Dodgers are going to suck the air out of Toronto in general. The whole country of Canada, they're gonna suck the air out of Canada in that game one.
They're playing in
That's how I
Toronto,
feel.
so
Yeah, so I feel like the Dodgers are gonna go in there and put a stamp and remind people like, yo, this is
Yeah, well,
our
champs.
game. Yeah, we're the champs. We here.
We the
Uh,
cheating ass champs. That's crazy. Oh yeah, I got them sweeping. And I'm like, I'm not giving them a shot, bro. I'm
night,
sorry.
night.
And I hope I'm wrong. They're different, bro. That team is different. It's like they're playing on rookie type shit.
You know what, too, though? I just wanna, because I saw Carl Ravitch, who I used to respect a lot, Carl Ravitch. Now I kind of don't, I can't stand him too much these days. No disrespect to him in general, but he put something like, oh, well, we hope that Toronto wins so they can like save baseball from getting ruined. I think this like outlook about like the Dodgers ruining baseball is so overblown and wrong simply because they decide to reinvest the revenue they're making into their roster. I mean, maybe other teams should do it too. I mean, these small market teams, the Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, like these teams are paying the small market team bills because part of the revenue sharing, like these big market teams have to pay these small market teams. So like what the owners are doing is they're pocketing this money. And I'm not saying go out there and give players $700 million. Not everyone can do that. But damn, if you're the Pirates, you got a young core, you got some good players. How are you talking about trading Paul Skeens? Like the best generational pitcher we've seen in maybe the last 20 years. And there's already rumors of him trading. Cincinnati talking about trading Hunter Green, another generational type pitcher.
Oh, because they don't want to pay him, right? So they
exactly. So they're trying to trade him off before they get into the arbitration and free agency years and all this stuff. So I think that's what's ruining baseball. It's these teams that are just not investing or reinvesting into their roster and instead are pocketing this money and all this other stuff. So I want to just put that to bed. Like the Dodgers are not ruining baseball. They're just operating with the strength that they have, which is the financial muscle that they got and the owners that are willing to, take a loss. Because at the end of the day, baseball is a business. These Dodgers, their revenue is crazy. They're allocating like 50% of their revenue to payroll. So that other 50% is all, the expenses of the stadium, staff, all that other stuff. So maybe they are operating at a loss when you release the Excel spreadsheet and all that stuff, but they're not ruining baseball. They're just showing teams like, yo, we got money, we're going to spend it. We don't care how you do it, but we're going to operate the way we do. And, the Mets kind of have a similar philosophy with their owner. They're just investing it in the wrong way. They just haven't hit yet. But I have no issue with the way the Dodgers are playing the game they're playing. And if you don't like it, just stop them. Do something and stop them. Simple as that.
Basically.
But
or put the battery in the back of the other teams that don't want to invest as well.
Exactly. It's baseball. So, I know that what the Dodgers do, they're going to end up winning the World Series. People are going to go crazy about it. Maybe they win the freaking World Series next year again and people go crazy again because they're going to end up signing Cal Tucker this season and somehow lower payroll. And it's going to be crazy that the Dodgers are stacking up all this talent. But honestly, that's not the Dodgers' problem. It's the other team's problem for not dishing out the money. So baseball is going to go into a lockout. This is breaking news for everyone who's not caught up. They're going to go into a lockout after next season. And I know the big conversation is going to be implementing a salary cap and a salary floor and all this other stuff. But I thought it was important for me to say like, yo, let's do what we do because, whatever.
That insight.
Thank you for that insight. And because I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be quick to point the blame on the Dodgers. But in reality, they're just using their funds and their assets to bring out the best product they possibly can and be competitive, like other teams are not willing to do in the bottom of the totem pole. So, and then now they want us to feel sympathy for these teams that refuse to keep players like Paul Skeens and, balance out the league more. So it could be more like the NFL this year. But, it just seems like teams they're not really strategizing to put their teams in a position to be competitive. Like what, like for how long, for how much longer are you going to rebuild?
Yeah. Not only that, but I think Manfred, as much as I criticize Rob Manfred, I know I don't really like him like that. As much as I criticize him and like adding the wildcard teams was a gift and a curse because now you've given teams the incentive to say, okay, well, we don't need to spend as much or be as competitive because we have 2 extra slots to get into the playoffs now. It's not just 1 wild card, it's 3. So now a team that's hovering around 500 has a chance to actually make the playoffs, which we saw like an example like the Giants were hovering around 500 towards the end of the season. They go on a little bit of hot streak. They're 5 games over. Suddenly they're in the playoffs. So like they think like, okay, well, we don't have to go crazy spending money. We can just kind of sneak in. And then, we snuck in, we make a little extra revenue, we get swept, whatever. We had 3 games at home, we're good. That's the bad part of it, but then the good part is you have 2 extra spots. Make a freaking impact. Sign some guys that'll help your roster, re-sign some of your core players, build around them, and be a consistent playoff team now. And that's what's lacking with some of these small market teams. So like, do I expect Cincinnati to make the playoffs next year? Probably not. Are they going to sell off this offseason? I would hope not. I would hope that they just continue to build on the success they had in making the playoffs this year. Chances are that's not going to happen because they're content with the fact that they made the playoffs this year. They can tell their fans, man, we gave it our best shot. We failed. We'll see you guys in a couple years when we rebuild again. Like Cesar said, how many times are you going to rebuild though? At some point, you got to be consistent. But
Yeah.
That's my tangent about Major League Baseball.
So we don't have the Dodgers.
Yeah,
5
Dodgers
games
and
are
5.
left. Yeah, but we'll see.
Man.
We'll see. Maybe the Blue Jays might prove us wrong and show us something really special.
Surprises.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could happen. They're capable of it. I just don't know if they're capable of it against the juggernaut that are the Dodgers. But we'll see. Baseball could baseball. Sports, has a way of doing things that we've never seen before, almost on a yearly basis. So who knows?
And then Ohtani,
Injuries can happen.
Ohtani was so quiet throughout the playoffs. The last game, he's coming off a 10 strikeout, 3 home run game. So that's not gonna work. Like now you got him to worry about his momentum. Yeah, I don't know. It's looking up. Dodgers and 5.
You wanna win big? Bet on the Blue Jays, I guess.
That is true.
That's true. You never know.
That's true.
But I bet my life savings. I ain't gonna hold you
Man.
though. I'm cold out here right now, so I'm about to sign a minute.
Man, what else, fellas? You want to call it on just baseball? Y'all want to jump into anything else? I know the NBA season started and we didn't even realize it started. Caught me off
Right.
guard.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we could go in depth with predictions and all that, but I'm just glad that it came. It just snuck up on me, and I'm honestly glad it's back. It's gonna be weird to see inside
too.
the NBA and ESPN. It's gonna
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
a little nostalgic to see the NBA games on NBC again. It was cool to see Jordan, even though he was in the comfort of his home. It was still good to see the man because, like, not for nothing, man. I think that man has too much aura to be in a studio anyway. So just see him for that split second, I'm like, damn, I think if I see this guy in person, he might get me. But the NBA season altogether, I'm excited for it. I'll jump into
Me
it.
too.
Let's go Knicks and Lakers.
Yeah, speaking of the Lakers, LeBron won't be playing for like the first month,
I heard that. I heard.
which is weird. LeBron's like never
There's-
hurt to start a season like that.
Not to get too deep in, because I know we're going to eventually jump into some NBA stuff at some point, but there's a lot of rumors about some tension between LeBron and the Lakers. So that's something worth keeping an eye on to see, like, we'll see.
Yeah,
What
but
is
it's the internet, so I
Yeah,
gotta take everything with a grain of salt.
exactly.
So we'll see.
Lakers gotta pay him $50 million. They're probably like, yo, you an old man, retire, bro. We ain't trying to pay you. And your son trash. Now I'm playing. He's looking good too. Oh, what did I say? Yeah, go Knicks. Knicks look like they got a good squad. It's gonna be interesting because a lot of teams are missing a lot of their key players, like the Pacers, Celtics. So it's opening up certain spots, I guess. It'll make it interesting in the East, at least for a while. But I really just wanted to say, and this is not about basketball, but the Jets are trash and the Giants are trash.
Yo, some dude went on this podcast and said the Jets were going to go on a 5-game winning streak. I don't know who said that, but that dude was crazy for even thinking that.
That dude is a legend.
Did y'all see how the Giants lost that game against the Broncos?
Did I?
30-something
I
points.
saw
in the
that
first
whole
quarter.
game. Yeah. They They were up 19-zip to start the fourth,
Mhm.
and then they scored 13 points in the fourth quarter, and it still wasn't enough because Denver Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter.
Yep. That is
Man.
crazy. I think
Listen.
I'm done with football for the rest of the year after that.
The Jets
But
can't
not-
break me, bro. They
Did
can't.
y'all see?
I
There's
mean,
a
they
beef
haven't
going
broken you
around.
yet.
They can't break me. The only team that could break me is the Yankees. I accept it. I accept it.
They're like polar opposite franchises.
Yep, and somehow the Yankees break me every single year.
It's always the baddie that breaks you, man.
Always.
Always. Fuck them baddies, man. Yeah, I'm done. I don't know.
But enough. But like more about the NFL though. This has been like it seems like a gauntlet match right now. I don't know who's gonna come up on top. Like there are so
Patriots are
many
looking good.
teams.
Patriots are in first
Yo,
place.
Drake Mays, and
He's
also
looking legit.
there's some quarterbacks that have revived and resurrected. Baker Mayfield showing that it wasn't a fluke last year. Sam Darnold is showing that it wasn't a fluke last year. He's on a
Right.
different team now. You know, you got Daniel
Daniel
Jones in
Jones.
Indianapolis acting like a fool, and then you got Patrick Mahomes. He looking like he's on a revenge tour. So
He's a receiver back.
and you know the Detroit Lions are gonna be there. The Packers are first place in the North. There's a lot of teams, man. I could still keep going, but the NFL looks wide open. Wide.
I like it like that.
Yeah, it
It
should
makes
be
for
fun.
fun games.
And I'm sure Vegas is gonna have a ball. This is gonna be the ultimate winners after this.
That's true.
That's what I predict. But yeah, it's definitely as competitive as the NBA now, I would say.
Ooh.
Except in the East, though. The NBA East. Maybe Cleveland, New York, and maybe Orlando.
Probably, yeah.
Indiana when they get back healthy. That's about it.
Milwaukee's in.
I think they lost Lillard.
Yeah.
Boston lost Drew Holiday out.
Tatum's out.
But yeah, so NFL's looking lit. NFL might be up. But we'll get more in depth closer to Halloween.
Yeah. Absolutely. On that note, before Hasiel freezes out there, because my man looked like he's suffering.
I'm shivering. Trying not to even think about it. I was about to start zoning out.
Man. Bueno, fellas, it was nice to see you guys. Thank you for joining. So we could break down this World Series. I appreciate you guys listening to my rant about MLB, the Yankees, all this other stuff. What are you gonna say, Cesar?
Oh no, this Sunday I almost forgot. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers face off the Steelers and the Packers for Sunday Night Football. That should be
Is it in Lambeau?
It's in Pittsburgh. So yeah. So Green Bay is traveling to Pittsburgh.
That's gonna be a good one.
It'll be a good one.
Yeah. Tune into that, man. That's gonna be. I'm gonna be a winner regardless. Honestly, I just want Rodgers to have a good game. The Packers to win. That's it.
I think he's leading the league in touchdowns per time. Surprise.
Yeah, proving all those doubters wrong. I love it. Yeah, but that's it.
Señor.
I don't think que Hasiel me mate.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to tune into the World Series. Starts this Friday. I'll continue to watch the NBA. Let's go Knicks. Jets, you can't break me. Do whatever you want. I don't care. Yankees, I will see you next season. Maybe. I don't want to watch baseball after the World Series, but I'll be there because it's just what I do.
A loyal fan. Loyalty.
Yeah, I can't help it. But yo sufro, bro. I don't think people get it. My bad, Hasiel. I'm done. I'm out. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the support. We love y'all. Make sure to comment. Thank you guys for tuning in.